Hello everybody, welcome to our second edition of the video blog. Today is Monday, September 22nd, and last week, as many of you know, was a very newsworthy week. Lots of things going on, and there's one story in particular that I wanted to talk about today, and that is the AIG story and the near failure of AIG that happened on Monday and Tuesday of last week. The issues that it highlighted that I wanted to talk about today in particular are consumer protection and what it might have meant and what it wouldn't have meant for policyholders or account holders of AIG products. You see, something like this has happened before. It happened in Canada in 1995, and the name at the time was Confederation Life, which was Canada's fourth largest insurance company. When that company ceased operation, the end result of it was that the various lines of business that operated as Confederation Life were simply sold to other insurance companies who were willing to buy that line of business. The policyholders, none of their benefits changed, the policies remained intact, and aside from the change in the name on their statements or their policies, there was really no effect to the policyholder. Suffice it to say, though, there was plenty of worry while the process was unfolding. So if a life insurance company does go under, it doesn't necessarily mean, in fact it rarely means, the loss of policy benefits or values for their clients. It's important to know that even in the AIG case. And also something worth talking about is that the share price versus the difference between the share price, for example, of AIG or a company that's in distress, and what happens to the account holders or policy holders of any of their business. See, the share price can fluctuate all at once, but it may have very little to do with what happens to the underlying policy holders and their values. Like I said earlier, in the case of AIG, if the company had gone under, the shareholders would have had their value go to zero. But that would have likely meant very little with respect to the policyholders. What would have likely happened is that the various companies, of which there are many, many companies that AIG operated around the world, simply would have been sold off to other companies who were willing to take those lines of business, which, by the way, were still solvent companies and profitable lines of business, and there would have been very little interruption to the policyholders' values or benefits. Regulations exist in Canada to protect consumers in Canada. So any company that, and this is true whether it's insurance business or deposit business or mutual fund business or stock brokerages, they're all regulated through their different regimes in Canada, either provincially or federally. And even foreign companies that operate in Canada and do business in Canada have to abide by those rules. And they do fall into the consumer protection. So it wouldn't really matter. In fact, many of the investment companies, insurance companies, and deposit companies in Canada are actually not Canadian domiciled companies. They're Canadian operations of foreign companies, and the rules that govern them would be the same that governs the whole industry. Even foreign companies would be affected by that the same way. So, in the end, the story of AIG ended with a happy ending. It was able to get from the Fed the money that it needed to operate in the short term, and in exchange for that, the U.S. taxpayer is now the largest shareholder of AIG. So in this case, none of the things that might have happened did have to happen, but even if it did go that other direction, there was sufficient protection there for the consumer that I was confident that there would have been likely no interruption of benefits to Canadian consumers or policyholders. So I hope that helps everybody, whether you have a life insurance contract with AIG or any other company. I think that, I hope anyways, that you find today's topic worthwhile and useful. Thank you very much.